Hello game makers, this is GameMaker Rob, and in this episode we cover searching furniture for items as well as a bug fix for the talking region. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do today is fix a bug that I created last time. I'm going to show you footage of what the bug actually is. Basically, when we're speaking to an NPC and we move away from them, it doesn't cancel the conversation, it just keeps going. That was because the move away from NPC and stop talking region was still inside pressed OK. So I'm going to switch back to the player step region now, and inside talking, here is where the move away from NPC and stop talking region was. It's inside pressed OK. So it's unlikely that we're going to press one of these 5 buttons and OK at the same time, which is why this wasn't running properly. So we're just going to remove this region from here, and we're going to put it after the end of the curly brackets from pressed OK. It's going to go here, and we're just going to add if talking equals true, then check for this, because we all need to check for it if we're talking, and that will fix the bug. Okay, so now we can actually get on with implementing furniture. I've got 2 new sprites, SPR NPC furniture with a bookshelf and a treasure chest, and SPR NPC furniture searched, which is the same bookshelf and a chest with its lid gone to denote it's been searched. You may have gathered that furniture is going to have something to do with NPCs, and if you think about it, what we want furniture to do is basically the same thing as an NPC. When we go up to it and press A, we want some kind of dialog box to pop up, and we want it to say either it's got something in it or it hasn't. And that's pretty much it, which is how NPCs work when you talk to them. So we're just going to be using the same talking region and add a little bit more for furniture really. So as usual, there are a few things inside obj init that we need to add first. We've got a new NPC type and ID called furniture, and then we have 1 line of text for furniture. It's just you find nothing. That's going to be the default. We also need to set up the text progress. It's just going to be 0 and 0 because there's only going to be 1 line of text. And we have a new furniture region as well. This one here, eNPC furniture, is just going to hold the different types of furniture you can have. So bookshelf, chest, maybe a box, barrel, that kind of thing. eNPC furniture stats. So if you look at this global array, we've got a variable called ferncunt starting at 0, and every time we add an entry into the array, we're going to increase ferncunt by 1. What this is going to do, or what this is for, is every piece of furniture in your world that you want to be able to be searched is going to have its own index starting from 0 and going up to however many pieces of furniture you have in total. What this is for is so we can save exactly which ones have been searched and which ones haven't. That's the main reason for that. I tried a few different methods, thought about doing it in different ways, but this one seemed like the best way going forward. If you're going to have dozens or hundreds of objects, I wouldn't recommend having copying and pasting these 4 lines again and again and again, because it's, I guess you can find things easy enough if you use the Control F function, but not really if you're going to have ferncunt rather than like one like that. So I'd recommend using a .csv file, putting the information into that and then importing it over as a grid. I've done a video on .csv files. It's only about 5 minutes long, so it's worth checking it out if you haven't. But anyway, so each entry for each piece of furniture is going to have its sprite index. We need to know how much gold is held. 0 if there's no gold. We need to know how much or what item is held. -1 if there's no item. And we can just use an enumerator if there is an item there. And last of all, whether it's been searched or not. What I've done is I've coded it so that, say for example, you have a full inventory and you find a chest with like a herb in it or an item. You're not going to lose the item. It's just going to say your inventory is full, and then if you go back to it with a space in your inventory, you can then pick up the item. Otherwise, usually you'll just receive gold or item, and that's going to be it. The furniture is going to be set to searched. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is we're going to go into obj NPC, and in the draw event we are going to add these lines. So we just need to check if it's a piece of furniture. If it is, then we're going to check its image speed to 0, image index to whatever sprite we set it as for that piece of furniture. Furniture ID, by the way, we're going to be setting this inside the creation code of the instances in rooms. It's going to start at 0 and go up from there. You need to be careful that you have enough entries in your furniture array, because if you only have 2 entries in furniture array and you give the NPC a furniture ID of 2 or 3, then it's going to crash your game because there isn't that many entries in the array. All this is going to do is basically switch the sprites. It's either going to show the sprite as searched or not searched. So that's all this is going to be for. Let's go on to creating the NPCs in the room now. So in the village, I've got 2 new NPCs, and in the creation code I'm setting their ID and type to furniture. I give this guy the furniture ID of 0 and this guy the furniture ID of 1. So one's going to be a bookshelf and one's going to be a chest. And if we run the game, we should see a chest and a bookshelf in that room, which is this. I don't want to talk to them yet because I'm probably going to get a crash. So we are going to get on with coding the talking region for the player, and that's actually going to be it then. We're going to have searchable items. Before we do that, there is one more thing I forgot to add inside the create event of obj init. We are going to need to add some stationery sprites. So just for the furniture type, we need to put SPR NPC furniture for north, east, south and west, and that should be it. So now in the step event of our player, in the talking region, on the next message, we're going to have a new region for furniture inserted there. So the default text is saying we don't have anything, there's nothing to find, but we're going to change it if there's gold or an item there. So we're checking to see if the ID of the NPC is furniture and if it has any gold. Also whether it's been searched or not. So if it's not been searched, then we grab the amount of gold that is available and we change the text to this. So you found X amount of gold, and we're going to add in the string as well. It's worth noting I've also amended the special character for this. So it's not going to take all the numbers from the string anymore. It's just going to take the numbers that come after the $sign. And when we get to a character that isn't a number, it's going to break. So it's going to be a lot more flexible now. It doesn't have to be the last number at the end of a string anymore. And we also want to set the furniture item to be searched to true. Otherwise, if, just wait for my game to stop crashing, if it has been searched, then we're just going to set the text to the default, which is there's nothing to find. So if there's no gold, then we're going to check for an item. So if the item is greater than or equal to 0, it's going to be, for example, a 0 is going to be a herb. Then check again to see if it's been searched or not. If it hasn't been searched, then grab the actual item we want to give to the player. We're just going to make the string to say you found a herb or a sword. And then we need to search the inventory to find an empty slot, which will be -1. We also want some way to know whether or not we did find an empty slot, because if we didn't, we don't want the chest to we don't want to lose the item from the chest. So we've got a variable for that purpose called inventory full, and we're going to search through the whole array. If we don't find an empty slot, then this is still going to be true, and we add this text onto that. So it'll say you found a herb, but you can't take it, and the herb will still be in the chest. However, if we do find a slot which is set to -1, then we add the item to the item ID, set equipped to false, and set the charges to however many the default charges are for the item. And we need to break out of it as well and set inventory full to false. If we don't break out of the loop, then this is going to run for the whole inventory, and any slot that is empty is going to have this added to it. So it's very important to break. The only other thing that we need to do now is update the special character for the $sign. So it's very similar to what we did for story point and new quest. Check for the special character $sign. We're going to start searching from the next character after the $sign. So that's why start car is car +1. End car again is the end last character of the string, and set digit string to nothing to blank. So this for loop is going to search from start car to end car, and if str equals a digit 0 to 9, then we're going to add that to digit string, otherwise break. And money to add is going to be the real of digit string. That's going to happen after the for loop is done or it's broken, and then we want to add money to add to the player's gold. And that should be it. If we now run the game, so we've got 100 gold and we've got 2 herbs. I search the shelf, then I've now got 3 herbs. I keep searching it and I don't get any more. And let's search the chest. Gave me 50 gold. So now I've got 150. If I try and search it again, it doesn't give me any more. And the final test we need to do is to exit the room and come back again. Search the shelf, search the chest, and we've still got 150 and we still have 3 herbs. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I will catch you next time. Bye for now.